Good morning, everybody. 'Tis the day before Christmas, and all through my house, well, not much is happening except I get to spend this day. It's the Miller gang. I'm the Gabb, really a Miller. My son Steve, my grandson Joey, and it's sort of a family affair. And we thought we'd talk about the year and what's happening and what's going to happen in our opinion or whatever. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Is everybody up and alert?
We're up.
No, Santa Claus ain't coming yet, so it's okay. Joey, who designed those bookshelves? My God.
Well, I was very young when these bookshelves were designed, and I will say right now, I have read approximately 0 of these books. So
Oh, don't do that. I was so impressed.
no, most of these are picture books anyways.
Oh, okay.
True. That's
Well,
true.
who shall we start with? Joey, you want to start with some of your favorite things this year or things you want to share?
Sure. Well, the most eventful thing to happen to me was, of course, graduating college. I studied at University of Missouri. I graduated from the journalism program and got to have my entire family, including Miss the Gabb herself, come out to Columbia, Missouri. And we got to experience a lot of the food that my college town had to offer. And I think that was a highlight of the year. Another thing was just going to a lot of baseball games this summer. I'm a big baseball fan. That's what I went to school for. And going to the All-Star game in Denver was an absolute great experience for me, and one that I won't soon forget.
Well, I got to participate in one, and actually, your dad did too. And we'll talk about some of his, but it's sort of here more food and highlights like that. But Steve, I'm calling you not Steven, is I'm the only one allowed. Any particular highlights for you?
Well, Joey introduced us to something called birria, which is a new trend in Mexican taco foods.
Excuse me. Could you say it again or spell it?
It's
Birria, B-I-R-R-I-A.
Never heard of it.
And it doesn't necessarily come from Mexico. I saw a video about it. It comes more from, I think, southern or what is it, South America or somewhere in Central America. But it moved its way up to us.
B-I-R-R.
I-A.
Okay. Said the dummy mother, Grandma. What is it?
Joey, please explain it.
Well, basically, traditionally, it's made from, I believe, lamb or goat. But more popularly, it's made from a big hunk of meat that's stewed in this mixture of, different kinds of chilies. I think ancho chilies and different kinds of things that are hydrated in this broth, which becomes known as consomme. Which you once the beef is marinated and stewed, it kind of falls apart. You put them in the tortilla with some cheese, some onion, cilantro. You fry it up in a pan, and you take these tacos. You dip them in the consomme, and it's a very flavorful experience.
Well, you dip them, but then do you put the lamb and stuff on top of it?
Well, no, because the lamb or the beef rather is inside the taco.
The meat is in the soft taco.
And then you put the sauce.
And then you dip the taco into the sauce.
You take it out of the stew and you put it in the taco. You shred it up.
Thank you. That's what I'm asking.
It's like a double flavor hit.
Is it fried?
Traditionally, yeah. If you have if you have it in tacos or quesadilla or something like that, yeah, typically you want to put it on the grill to give it some color, the tortilla rather. And you are also supposed to dip the tortilla in the consomme before you fry it to add color.
Okay, and now she asked, where does one find this?
Well, you can find it a lot of places because it's become very popular, but it's hard to find good birria. Right now, my favorite spot, and the only spot I know where to get it, is one of my favorite taco spots up here in Lafayette. called Tacos I, and it's just a family-run place that I've been going to for about 5 years now. I've been going there since high school. I used to get lunches there. They used to be run out of a gas station, and they got their own place right next to the gas station, coincidentally. But it's become very popular up in my neighborhood, and
Yeah, it's street food.
they do a great quesadilla.
Oh, I feel bad that I have not
There
been.
is a place in Denver called Kike's Red Tacos on 52nd and Federal.
Well, that's
It is.
real close for me.
Well, it's getting a lot of press for having this great birria experience.
Okay, say the name of the place again.
Kike, Kike's Red Tacos.
Okay. Well, I
But
want to.
you'll see it at any neighborhood taco stand or truck. It's just a very popular way of serving it, and it just gives this boost of flavor to the meal.
It's a labor to make, though. It takes a while to.
Well, do you know how to make them?
I'm sure I could find a recipe. I've found a lot of recipes
Well,
this year.
either that or somebody's going to have to take me to this place because I'd love to try them.
Well, we talk about the new year and things to try that can be added to our list of things to do
All right.
next year.
Okay, I like that list. One of the things that we loved in Columbia, Missouri, where we all went, well, two of the highlights to me were the pizza and the burger.
Yep. And we had them both simultaneously.
Yes,
Pretty-
it was all one lovely lunch.
Yes.
However, do you think, being that we're not in Columbia, what places did you find in this area that compare?
Well, one of the phenomenons we're seeing is this growth of what pizza can be defined as. Originally, we had New York style pizza, we had Italian style pizza, we had Chicago style pizza, but now we're seeing Detroit style pizza and Connecticut style pizza, the white pizza restaurant. And they're now claiming variations on pizza that are mind-boggling.
Joey, what was your favorite?
Favorite pizza? Well, I'm still searching for the best pizza spot in Colorado. Colorado doesn't really have an identity when it comes to pizza. Right now, it's, we went out to White Pie. I believe that's what it's called.
Right.
It was excellent. I love all the things that they put on the pizza. It's all all of my favorite things.
I thought that pizza, Joey and I went, and I had only had the white pie, which was fabulous. It's on 17th and Humboldt. But what was the one we ordered when I went with you?
It was called the Rookie Ricotta, and I
Oh,
love
is it
ricotta on
good?
pizza. And it had, arugula. Gosh, what else did it have? Did it have olives of some sort?
I don't remember, but it was sure good.
Some
White
salt-
Pie, the restaurant White Pie defines itself as a Connecticut style pizza.
I don't know what the style is, but I can only tell you it's damn good.
Yeah.
It's a flat crust. It's not like Blue Pan.
Yeah, it's
And
New York. New
Yeah,
York.
to
style
me,
crust.
it's New York, yeah. And it's not overly cheesy. It's not like one of these thick pizzas. It's just really good. And their sides are great too.
And that's
So-
another thing that I tried this year. Speaking of overly cheesy, I went to Chicago and finally tried a Chicago deep dish pizza. I
And
have a hard time calling it pizza.
yeah,
It was still delicious for what
Cheese
it
and
is.
tomato pie.
Yeah, casserole.
here. Right. Well, Blue Pan is a style of pizza, but if somebody doesn't know, it's more of a thick, doughy top thing.
Blue
more
Pan
than-
calls themselves Detroit style pizza.
Right.
But it,
And it's a square, deep pan that they bake the cheese right into the edges.
Yeah, but it's pretty doughy. I mean, I think
Very
it's
good.
fabulous.
Oh, it is. It is.
But, and again, both those places seem to fare very, very well. And there's pizza every place. Burgers.
Burgers.
I definitely have my favorites. What are yours? And I love burger.
Any place that will cook a rare hamburger is my kind of place.
Well, they don't. That's few. The two I like best happen to do rare hamburgers. But
Right.
you're
It's,
first.
oh gosh. Where do I start? I don't know if there's like a place that specializes in burgers.
Oh
That,
no, I'm not picking places that special.
you know, my usual go-to spots for burgers are, you know, the basic chains, but you know, ones that I really like that have been introduced to Colorado recently are Shake Shack, of course, Danny Meyer's restaurant, In-N-Out, you know.
You really like In-N-Out.
Yeah, there are some things on the secret menu that not a lot of people know about, like getting chopped chilies on your burger, and it just really adds a great flavor to
Okay,
burger, and it depends on which In-N-Out you go to as well.
I go to Out-N-Out.
Yeah.
My idea of a burger, my two favorites are Table's Restaurant, which is not a burger place, but has awesome burger, and D-Bar.
D-Bar was great. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're thick, juicy, full of cheese and all the yummy things that's supposed to be on a burger.
Yeah, defining a burger based on its toppings is kind of a cop-out.
Okay, I'll take away the toppings on both of those
Yeah,
and still tell you.
and that's what has to be good. The meat has to be seasoned correctly, and it has to be cooked without being overcooked.
Joey Miller made a lamb burger one day that I could put up there, but nobody else can go get it. However, if you can't get Joey's in his personal restaurant, Root Down has one of the best lamb burgers any place.
They do. That's right.
It is incredible. I mean, now sometimes go away from the fancy stuff on the menu, and you can get some delicious dishes that aren't the thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you have a favorite Colorado restaurant or two this year,
Oh my gosh.
and why?
It's still open.
Okay,
I got one.
go ahead.
Yeah, you know, the one restaurant that I always tell my out-of-towners to come to is always the Ginger Pig. And they always do an excellent job. We're good friends with Natasha Sherman Hess, who has brought this from a food truck to a very, I think, a very successful restaurant. And she's been doing great business.
It's tiny, so try to know when you got to get there early enough.
Got to go to happy hour, try some of the appetizers, you know.
They're delicious.
I think it was like a Korean corn dog, or like kind of like corn flakes instead of the traditional corn batter of a corn dog. And then of course the classic Bangkok balls, which are served with a, what kind of lime is it? Like a lime leaf aioli. It's absolutely delicious.
She does it fabulous. Well, I have a couple of favorites, but for me, the most interesting, exciting place this year is something that's totally not me. And it is called Somebody People. And yes, that's the name of the restaurant. And it is totally vegan, not even tofu, just all vegetables, homemade pastas. Everything there is organic, no preservatives. And I just think it's the most exciting thing. I think you're going to see, if we start talking about places to come, I think we're going to see a lot more vegan type restaurants appearing, because I think people are going that way.
Yeah, and a lot of people are scared about trying vegan foods, and I've definitely experimented a lot with the Beyond Meats and the plant-based substitutes, and they're not all bad. You know, it just depends on how you cook it and how you season it, and I think that goes for anything you cook, honestly. But
this is no plant-based meats. This is all vegetables.
Yeah,
your friend and mine, Tyler Wired, who is a chef from Denver, is now almost all vegan. And he said he did it for health and to get in shape. And I just think the world is tending to vegetables and those things more. But I can't even give you a favorite dish in that restaurant. But
I see a lot of dishes at that restaurant that I would want to try.
well, I could eat anything from the start of the menu to the end of the menu.
I'm looking at their menu right now.
It's incredible.
Spaghetti
The-
squash with mint, capers, and Calabrian chili.
That's good, but
Amazing.
it's good. But the beets with the parsnip sauce and the mushrooms with the polenta and then the cabbage. And if you look at cabbage on a menu and you think, I'm ordering cabbage, oh my God, it is awesome.
Cabbage served with horseradish aioli, pickled mustard seeds, and dill.
You have no idea until you taste these.
Sounds
And the
wonderful.
chef actually worked with Hillary, who is Danny Meyer's head executive chef of his new restaurant in New York called Chisciamo. And Art, the chef here, was with her for 5 years in New York and just wanted to move to Colorado. They have everything. Do not go to this place without a reservation. It is mobbed every minute of every day. And yes, you must wear a mask. So it's just incredible.
We are all learning about the various levels of mask that one can wear. And I see no reason why somebody should have an issue, given the range of masks that we all have access to now, and wearing a mask into a restaurant.
And I have seen people fight it,
Yeah.
and it's inexcusable.
Yeah.
I actually am all for showing your vaccination piece of paper like you do in New York along with the mask. So
It may come to that. In fact, we're going to see a transition again in the restaurant community where restaurants will be shutting down table service and doing takeout for a period of time because it's something they can manage. Yeah, because of the virulent Omicron variant. When we were at Chook Chicken the other night, they have half the restaurant counter space now is just where takeout bags go as people call in their orders, and then they either run them out to them or people walk in and are handed their bag. Takeout is going to be the next.
well, they did this before, so they know how to do it right.
But
And
they've
they're-
given up half the counter space to this.
Well, they don't care. And their seating is spread nicely. You're not on top.
I agree, but I think a lot of restaurants are going to modify their menus in order.
They
to,
already have.
yeah, and
They're way cut down.
we're
Every
going to
single,
see this for at least another year, I think.
I hope not.
I know.
Joey, other favorites that to share
In terms of restaurant experiences,
or food or whatever you like?
Where do you go for your Vietnamese sandwiches?
well, banh mi is what they're called. One of my favorite spots is up in Boulder called Daikon. A lot of fresh flavors. If you don't know what a banh mi is, it's essentially a lot of pickled vegetables and a really good base meat on a freshly made roll. There's this they do like a brisket, pulled pork as their base meat, a couple other ones, but I typically go with the brisket because they slow cook it for 24 or 48 hours or something like that. And it goes along with, fresh jalapenos, cilantro, pickled carrots, daikon, radishes, onions, all that stuff. A little bit of fish sauce too adds a good pungent flavor to the sandwich, and it's just absolutely excellent if you ever get a chance to go up to Boulder and try
Bite into one of these sandwiches and it's an explosion of flavor in your mouth.
Well, okay, I'm waiting, guys. You've certainly been neglecting your grandmother. But before, Joey, I do think you have another favorite that we should give a little hurrah to, and that's the Bagel Deli.
Yeah. If there has been a staple in the community of Denver, it is the Bagel Deli, and definitely always one of my favorite spots to go to get in touch with our culture, that being, you know, the Jewish culture, and just kind of experiencing Jewish delicatessens as it should be. Great pastrami, great bread, great sides like knishes, potato salad, all that stuff, you know, latkes, of course, and all the interesting little things that you can get there, like herring and all that stuff at the front counter.
But to our friends who aren't Jewish, it's great anyway.
Yeah, and if you ever want to try some of, you know, the food that comes from our culture, I guess you could say, that is the spot to go to.
Even Guy Fieri liked it.
Oh, he loves it. But I might just do a PS. I may be of your culture, but the egg salad and the tuna salad are the best in the city.
And the sour cream herring with onions is amazing. There's
You
nothing,
can have that. I'll take it.
nothing is good.
Yeah, it is. It's a great spot. It's been around for 55 years and deserves it. So,
And the height that their sandwiches are stacked with meat,
oh no, they do the best.
it's amazing. Yeah.
We're very lucky that they survived the
And
pandemic.
it's as close to New York as you can get in Colorado.
They do a huge carry-out business too. And they actually, FYI, redid the restaurant, spacing everything differently so you're not on top of each other. And they do not do dinner. They just decided it isn't worth it and they close earlier. But,
You can pick up and bring home for dinner.
oh yeah, and great breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
You were telling me, Joey, about the best eggs.
Best eggs.
Did you say something about tangerine?
Yeah, not necessarily
I
just
don't know it.
eggs,
Oh,
but it's a great brunch spot. I know of two. There's one in Lafayette, and there's one up in Longmont. There might be a couple others, different places. They
oh, okay.
fresh squeezed orange juice. They do this excellent blueberry lemon ricotta pancake.
That's at Root Down too, by the way.
Yeah, I have yet to try that and maybe compare those two, but at least for Tangerine, they do an excellent job. The breakfast burritos are great. It's a great brunch spot to take your mother to on Mother's Day, maybe next year if things have cleared up. It's a good spot to reserve.
It appears that those two are the only two current locations of Tangerine.
Oh, very good.
Old Town
Okay.
Lafayette and downtown Long.
Before we talk a little bit about what we think the new year is going to bring, any other favorite meal? Joey, Steve?
I've done
We
a
did
lot
a whole, early in the year, we did a whole tour of dumplings. Trying to find the best dumplings in town.
I love dumplings.
And I ate so many dumplings that I got sick of dumplings.
Yeah, I never get sick of dumplings. Mason's dumplings are great.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a little tiny place on Montview. Joseph, you?
I have still been, speaking of dumplings, I've still been looking for a good spot for soup dumplings. I think the closest I've come to is trying those Mason's dumplings, like you mentioned. But gosh, in terms of restaurants that I've been out to,
Oh, that's okay.
no, I mean, like, we did a lot of cooking this year. We stayed in. We had a long grilling season, so we
still can grill.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous out.
As long as the gas holds out.
it's getting a bit nippy nowadays, but yeah, you can still definitely grill. We did a lot of burgers. We did a lot of steaks. We did obviously the lamb burgers that I made, and I've been learning a lot about grilling in the outdoor cooking world.
Good for you.
So I think in terms of food experiences this year, that kind of stands out over restaurants. Although I did visit a lot of great restaurants this
Well,
year.
I have lots of restaurants, but if I have to talk about a dish not from people, the new Apple Blossom makes a dish which is down at the Hyatt Central on Champa, makes a dish called duck gumbo. which is not really gumbo, but it is.
Is there okra in it?
Nope. Nope. It's not. I told you, it's not what you think it is. It's, oh, it's awesome. So it's got rice and mango and all sorts of pickled stuff. It's fabulous. But that's just another one of mine. Anyway, do you want to talk about a little bit, Stephen? You wanted to talk about it, Joey. What do you think's going to happen in the new year quickly before we wrap up?
Again, I think that restaurants are either going to have to put themselves on pause and temporarily close, or really pivot as this pandemic, the current version of the pandemic grows, and focus on the best quality of takeout. And you have to retool dishes in order to be served well when you put them in a container and send people home with them. So I think there's going to be a lot of thought to how people resolve that issue. I don't think people are going to be going out as much. There's clearly going to be increased mask requirements, testing requirements.
Hopefully, yeah.
People will finally get it under their heads that they do have to get inoculated to this thing, and
well, they're not. Those who don't want to are not.
yeah, it's got to stop.
Joseph, your idea.
Well, I think in the new year, we as a collective society need to be less selfish in every way, including, just doing your part in wearing masks, in getting vaccinated if you can, and just being mindful of other people as we kind of progress through this third year of this collective experience of the pandemic that we've all been going through. There's no use in acting like a child. I work in the food industry, and I see people come in every day without masks and throw a fit, throw an actual.
Well, speaking of where you can say where you work, it's fine. But is there a sign on the door?
There is. And, I get for different counties, there are different mask requirements. And here in Boulder County, which stretches out into Louisville, Superior, and a couple of the surrounding towns, there are mask requirements, at least for when you go in to order. And some people don't respect that. And even when provided with masks, they will throw a fit. I've been called a lot of names that I won't mention on here, just for putting a piece of cloth on your face. And I think going into the new year, we just have to look out for one another and be more mindful of our neighbors.
Okay, do you serve them?
Not if they don't wear a mask.
Good. Now, I think when it becomes a point where they just say goodbye, people will change their mind. And I don't think the restaurants are ready to say, I want to give up the business.
Yeah. And
in a lot of cases.
But, for a lot of the corporate run places that are franchised out, like the one that I work at, it's a bit more of a tricky situation because, you got cameras and you got the health inspector and all that stuff. And
good
restaurants can be shut down if you don't wear a mask. So that's why people in the restaurant industry ask you to wear a mask. It's for their safety, for their job, and for everybody's well-being, whether or not you agree with it. Don't take it up.
Others. That's right.
Don't take it up with the restaurant workers. Take it up
well,
with.
That's not their fault. Yeah.
Or just get vaccinated. It's pretty.
That would be real nice. And wear a mask.
Yes.
Well, I think for my two favorite people, it's been a wonderful visit. And I thank you for being here. I thank you for being my son. I thank you for being my grandson. And to all the people who are viewing this, thank you for viewing this. And I know we'd like you to like and subscribe to the Gabb on YouTube. And this will be up on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram as soon as the old grandma figures out how to do it. No, I do know.
Please like and subscribe Gabby's podcasts, because it lets us know that you're out there, that there are people out there who want to see more. It's really important that you participate by clicking those buttons. And happy holidays to everyone. I hope everybody stays happy, healthy, and well fed.
Joey,
Likewise.
thank you. Okay, and me too. If you celebrate, have a wonderful Merry Christmas. If not, a happy holiday. And I will be back before New Year's, but whatever, just stay safe, stay well, and just be happy and healthy. And to all of you, thank you. See you next week. To my two favorite men, have a great day. Love you.
Love you, Gabby.